Hello, everybody. John Han with the Pulsing Cinema, and I'm bucking the trend. Today's movie is Silent Night, Deadly Night, and usually Silent Night, Deadly Night, you do a review of it around Christmas. Hey, it's Christmas. We're doing Silent Night. Screw that. Okay, this is a movie for all seasons. A very ugly looking slasher film that became a lightning rod in the early 80s because Siskel and Ebert really panned it on their show, and they made it like a cause celeb. You know, Siskel and Ebert were most of the time very down on slasher movies. And even though they liked Halloween and some other ones, the late 70s, early 80s slasher glut, they were really heavy critics of that, and they were one of the voices, especially Gene Siskel. They were heavy voices that this was chauvinistic, that these were evil, that they would corrupt the world and murder your kitten. These films were bad. They were going to poison the water supply. They were going to cause financial collapse. Well, it wasn't going to cause financial collapse for the devils and the demons that made these movies. They were awful, ugly men, right? So, Silent Night, Deadly Night was part of that. Silent Night, Deadly Night, a simple film, not much, the synopsis, you could, give a few lines. It's an easy to grasp film. A little kid, his parents are murdered by a dude who dressed up as Santa Claus, so it fucks him up in the head, and he has to go to an orphanage. His brain is fucked up. He lives his life and grows into be a young adult, where he gets a little job at a corner store, but they task him, they're very insensitive, and they task him one Christmas with dressing up as the store, the department store Santa Claus, and it triggers off things in his brain, and he goes on a murder spree. Ta-da! That's it. That's the fucking movie. That's what you want. And Linnea Quigley gets mounted on antlers, and the film was cut originally, but then came out uncut on video, and the DVD is, the recent DVD is uncut, the recent Blu-ray is uncut, but it has the cut scenes are like in very poor quality, and that's it. The film, I'm not a big connoisseur of slashers. They just kind of like they don't turn my eye. They don't turn my head. They don't really. I'm not entranced by them. There are some good movies. I like the slasher movies. I like are just good movies. I like them on the basis of the fact they're just a good film. Silent Night, Deadly Night was a film kind of made to order, and it's a very ugly looking film. I mean, I think that's what the most flack the film got, is that this film was released by TriStar. I mean, this is a pretty major company. TriStar was before they became merged with Columbia, but I mean, they were a young upstart. They had some money behind them, but this film looks like it was made for like $50,000 in Long Island by like Andy Milligan's nephew. I mean, even on Blu-ray, the film it has this very sleazy, very low rent. It makes Maniac look like a high class, effort. It's like really sleazy looking, and I think that sleaze makes, and the fact that it was pushed so hard, made it an even harder pill to swallow for many critics. I think the film is okay, but again, it's just a very simplistic, very much stuck in an early 80s time warp, the music and everything and all that stuff. But I mean, it's on like a level of The Mutilator as far as I think The Mutilator is like a better film. I think the Mutilator and some other early '80s films are much higher class, and this film is very low class and very kind of, in some ways, very kind of scummy looking, which is some way, for some people, that might make for a more exciting viewing experience. It doesn't have a gloss and a sheen of like a commercial slasher film from a major studio. It looks very low rent. It feels very low rent, and there's something kind of like you want to take a shower after watching it. So, all that, if you're a slasher film, this is a fundamental film in your education to watch. It's part of movie history because of it, the whole backlash that it engendered. So definitely, a movie to watch, but not necessarily a movie I really particularly enjoy. There it is, Silent Night, Deadly Night.